It was an ordinary little town with ordinary streets where children played, dogs barked, and birds chirped. But one day, something unusual began to happen. A street that no one knew suddenly appeared in the middle of the town. It wasn't on any maps, and it disappeared just as suddenly as it had appeared. The people in the town called it the Phantom Street because it would just emerge from nowhere and vanish just as mysteriously. Some claimed it was cursed. Others said it was just a strange dream. But no one really knew what was going on with the street until three brave friends, Tom, Lisa, and Max, decided to uncover the secret of the Phantom Street. One sunny afternoon, Tom, Lisa, and Max were playing in the park. They were tossing a ball to each other, laughing, and having a great time. But when the ball suddenly bounced over a fence and they ran after it, they found themselves standing in front of a street they had never seen before. "That's it!" Max exclaimed, who had already heard about the mysterious Phantom Street. The street that nobody knows. Lisa and Tom stared at the narrow cobblestone street that seemed to wind endlessly into the distance. It was as if it had appeared out of nowhere, and even stranger, no one else in the town seemed to notice it. Curious as they were, the three of them decided to follow the street and find out where it led. Tom, Lisa, and Max walked along the street, which was lined with tall, dark trees. The street led them to a part of town they had never seen before. Suddenly, they came across a row of old, abandoned houses. The windows were boarded up, and the doors creaked in the wind. It seemed as if no one had lived there for years. "This is creepy," whispered Lisa as she looked at the dilapidated houses. "Why are there houses here that no one knows about?" Tom asked as he cautiously approached one of the buildings. Max, who always had a good sense of adventure, suggested they enter one of the houses. Maybe they could find clues there as to why the street kept disappearing. With pounding hearts, they carefully opened a creaking door and stepped into the old dusty house. Inside, the house was quiet and eerie. Old furniture lay everywhere, covered in a thick layer of dust. The walls were yellowed with age, and cobwebs hung in the corners. But as the children moved further in, they suddenly heard a faint humming sound. The noise led them to an old cupboard in the corner of the room. Tom opened the cupboard, and to their surprise, they found a small, ancient man inside. He wore a long coat and had a white, wiry beard that almost reached his knees. The man looked at the children with a friendly smile. "Welcome, little adventurers," he said in a gentle voice. "I am the guardian of the Phantom Street." The three friends looked at each other in confusion. "The guardian? What does that mean?" Lisa asked curiously. The old man explained that the Phantom Street was a portal between the real world and a magical world. He was the one who made the street appear and disappear to keep the two worlds in balance. But lately, the portal had become unstable, and the Phantom Street was appearing more frequently than usual. If they didn't solve the mystery, the magical world could merge with the real one, and that would cause chaos. "We need to find the source of the instability," said the Guardian, "and I need your help." The Guardian led the children deeper into the house, where they came upon a hidden door. This door didn't just lead to the basement, it led to the magical world behind the Phantom Street. The children hesitated for a moment, but then they gathered their courage and stepped through the door. They found themselves in a completely different world. A world full of vibrant colors, flying creatures, and strange plants they had never seen before. The sky shimmered a deep purple, and everywhere tiny lights floated like fireflies. It was as if they had landed in a dream. But the world was also in turmoil. The trees leaned threateningly, and the ground trembled slightly. "The magical world has fallen out of balance," explained the Guardian, "and we must find the reason." Together, they set out to find the source of the problem. They encountered talking animals, floating rocks, and a river that flowed backward. But despite all these wonders, something seemed wrong. Everywhere they went, they felt that the world was crumbling. After a long journey through the magical world, the children and the Guardian finally reached the origin of the instability. A huge, floating crystal hidden deep in a forest. The crystal pulsed irregularly, sending waves of energy through the air that were destabilizing the magical world. "This crystal maintains the balance between our worlds," the Guardian explained, "but it has been damaged, and that's why the Phantom Street keeps appearing." Tom, Lisa, and Max understood that they needed to repair the crystal. But how? The Guardian told them that they could restore the crystal's balance with a spark of pure friendship and cooperation. The children held hands and focused on the many adventures they had experienced together. Their friendship was strong, and they knew they could overcome this challenge together. Suddenly, the crystal began to glow. A warm, golden light spread out and filled the surroundings. The world calmed down, the trees stood still again, and the ground stopped trembling. The crystal was repaired, and balance was restored. The Guardian thanked the children for their help and led them back to the Phantom Street. As they stepped through the door, they found themselves back in the normal world. But something had changed. The street began to fade and slowly dissolved into the air. "The Phantom Street will now disappear," said the Guardian. "But don't worry, it will always be there to maintain the balance, even if you can't see it." Tom, Lisa, and Max waved goodbye to the Guardian and watched as the street finally vanished. They knew they had uncovered a great secret and had gone on an incredible journey they would never forget. From that day on, the Phantom Street in the town was just a legend. But the three friends knew that it would reappear whenever the time was right, and that they would be ready to face the next great adventure.